This is Bonny Meyer, DiVine Conversations. Today I'm here with Suzanne Thorniley. We have just gotten the election results recently. Some of our candidates have won, some of them, our favorites, did not. And I've asked Suzanne to be here with me to talk about what she and her friends have done in her community when things didn't go their way.
Bonnie, thank you for having me today. I love talking about this topic because I think years ago when I first met you, we were sort of visioning where we're going to show up in the world. And what kept coming clear to me is I'm not a global game changer, but I do strongly value and believe that I can make a change in my community. And so I'd say over the last 5 or 6 years, I've really focused on that with a group of people, either from city council, a group of women friends who have been studying and learning about racial justice, and they'll tell you a little bit more about that. We've moved to a bigger project. But I think what I've learned over these last few years is that there's a lot of power and there's a lot going on in our local communities that are, nonpartisan. We all want to live in places that are healthy and vibrant and growing. And I would say even through COVID, I've watched this community um, jumpstart and get things off the ground to support people that were really struggling. And I also got to be a part of that through a program. So, just generally speaking,
Mhm.
there's a lot of possibility that your listeners may not even be aware of right in their own communities.
Well, and I think it all started when a group of you were getting together and noticing that you were all complaining about what wasn't happening or what wasn't going your way. And somehow you woke up to start exploring the possibilities.
We did, we sat and we whined a little bit, and I noticed that everybody was just sort of saying the same things over and over again. And so we sort of opened up the invitation about what can we do close to home. And we have a wonderful representative in the House that sort of gathered us and gave us ideas. I personally started looking a little more deeply into the community and thinking about where I could put financial resources as well as volunteer resources. And I discovered our local community college that has an amazing um, range of possibilities for students, and they're always struggling for money. And for me personally, it's like, oh, I think I really want to connect with them and put some resources in that direction. And then a group of us, as we started this study around racial injustice and learning more about what's happening right here and what's happened historically, we connected with a good friend on city council. And she swooped her arms around us and started giving us ideas about how we could plug in the community and have events and begin to try and break down some of those barriers.
What I recall is that you created an event that was all women.
We did. So we, through the Women's Foundation, brought in a speaker, and the theme was Ignite Change, how women can give their treasure, their gift of time, money, and talent. So we wanted to change the idea of what philanthropy looks like and help the broader community understand that giving is not just about giving dollars, that there's so much talent and skills in this community. So we held an event around that and filled up the event center in ways that had never looked before, all with women, women interested in breaking down some barriers and beginning to identify their gifts and their ways that they can give.
But it's also really important. You just were speaking to something that I learned a number of years ago, and that when it comes to contributing, whether we're contributing dollars or time, what's really important is to find something that you really love, because at the end of the day, all causes are good. And if I try to, if I get scattered in my approach, it's not going to do anybody any good, particularly me. But if I focus on something I'm really excited about and that I really love, that focus area or that organization will really benefit. And so one of the keys is to find friends. So you've mentioned a few things. Find friends to do it with. Definitely have a young person that has got enthusiasm and energy, and find what you really love, and then try to gather people together around that.
And I remember when I was visiting you and you made the comment, just the reminder that all causes are good, and they are good, and they're run by wonderful people who are committed.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences and your wisdom and your enthusiasm with us today.
Thank you, Bonnie. I just love being with you, and I love sharing this world with you and an opportunity to inspire and help other people turn an eye to their communities and see where they may be able to show up, because there is power in our own neighborhoods and in our communities.
Yeah,
It's
you
one
bet.
good opportunity. Okay.
All right. So this is Bonny Meyer and Suzanne Thorniley, DiVine Conversations, and we'll see you next time.